Hello guys and welcome to my kitchen. In this video I'm going to show you how to play Cultures well. And I know what you might be saying. You might be saying that I know how to play Cultures, but in this video I'm going to show you how to play it well so that you can develop your village properly. And you may ask, who are you? I'm a guy who played this game, who spent literally hundreds of hours playing this game on a single player mode and on multiplayer mode, so I know a bit about this game, and I'm going to transfer all my knowledge to you. I'm going to play a game on a map called Magical Forest. It's a typical 3v3 map that you may encounter playing multiplayer with us. So this is a typical map. I have a lot of resources here, and I have also a lot of space, so I don't have to fit my buildings between trees and so on. This is a typical multiplayer map. I'm going to play a game here, and I'm going to explain what I do step by step. And before we dive into it, I want to tell you that this very guide is based on my my paper guide, so to speak, my text guide, and be sure to check it out. Link is in the description. They are connected to each other, so you can read this guide before watching this video, after watching this video, so you have every single piece of information written, and you can read it if you want. So let's begin. Let me start the game. I'm going to play on 2x speed or 3x, so I have plenty of time to explain everything. And I'm going to start this game by building farm, then assigning a civilian to this farm, and then building 4 dwellings 1. I'm not quite familiar with the names here because I usually play on a Polish version, but I see that dwelling is a house, warehouse, yeah, it's okay, doesn't matter. And why am I building 3 dwellings 1? I'm sorry, 4, because I don't have anything else to do. What am I gonna do? Am I gonna build a defensive tower? A warehouse? No point in that. That's why I'm building 4 houses. And I need unit production. That's my first goal, actually. I cannot do anything else, so I'm going to build houses. And the second important thing, I'm going to assign my civilians so they are not standing idle. The first one went to be a farmer. The second guy is going to be a hunter. And the third is going to be a fisherman. But I don't have fish here, so he won't be a fisherman. But make sure that every time you have fish on a map, you assign someone to fish them, because fisherman is OP. Be sure to do him every single game. But I don't have fish here, so the rest go for being a builder. And right now I have 6 builders, exactly 6, and this is a great amount to begin with. At the beginning of the game, I need at least 4 builders. 5 is okay, 6 is great, 7 is the limit. Do not make more builders than 7, because they are just going to stand still, because they won't have enough buildings to build. Okay, so I'm building 4 houses because I'm waiting for this guy. This guy is a clay extractor, and I need him to gain 10 experience, because he is going to unlock me pottery and school. And school is the most important building in my village, and I'm going to explain why in a moment. But before I move any further, I will assign women to the houses. So I select all my builders, and I give them a command to marry women. And I do that instead of selecting my women and then commanding them, because I want builders to be husbands. But because of that, in my opinion, builders are the best husbands. Not that because they are the most generous or anything like that, but because their interruption does not hurt as much. Because if this guy were a husband, then he will stop his job and go to the house to eat something or to make a child. That's not good. I want him to work. He's one of the most important workers here. Builders are not that important, so they can interrupt their job, and there is no problem with that typically. Okay, so I have my women. Not everyone was married, so I'm going to give a command to marry again to some builders because they didn't follow my command. That's not what I'm paying them for. Okay. And now I'm going to assign my women to houses. I have 4 houses, so I have 6 women. That's good. That's great. I'm not building 6 houses though, because I don't want to. First of all, I don't want to run out of food, and secondly, I want to build pottery. This is the most important building because I want pottery and pottery and school. And school is the most important building actually. Okay, so I'm assigning my women. Okay, 3rd and the 4th. And now it's okay. And now I'm going to set my assistant. What is assistant? It's the second icon in the menu, the second icon here. It's like a chest or something. So this is one of the most important windows here. It was added in the 8th Wonder version. And by the way, I'm playing on Cultures mode 1.3, 1.3.1. Why? Because it's the best version, in my opinion. And it's the newest version of Cultures Nation mode. And I like it so much more than 8th Wonder. Okay, so I'm here turning this on, this on, this on, this on, this on. And I'm just not turning wooden tools. And you may ask, what does it do? And that's a very good question. So by selecting these options, my civilians are going to pick up iron tools, meat, and shoes every time they run out of it. And this is huge. This is huge because we are going to produce meat as a primary food source for my Vikings. I will tell you more about it later on. So I select all of these options. I should actually have done this at the beginning of this game, not to forget it. This is very important because if I forget to do it, then it will be a disaster. But I will tell you more about this later. And I set to produce boys. Okay, this is very important too because I want to produce my children here. I want to produce new Vikings here. I'm not going to select all my women and tell them to give birth to a child or to give birth to a boy or a girl. I'm going to do it here in my assistant. This is very important. Because right now I don't have to click her and so on. I don't have to remember it. They just follow this instruction. You see the power of it. I set how many boys I want to have and they just do it. They will produce those boys, right? And that's huge. And this allows me to save a lot of time and I don't have to micromanage so much. Okay. Now I have some time because my builders are building this house, are finishing this house, so I'm going to capture cattle by using my scout. And I'm going to place a signpost here. Okay, so everything is ready. Now I'm building pottery. Where is my pottery? As I mentioned, I'm not used to this version. Okay, pottery 1, then mason shop 1, and school. And now I have a bit of time to tell you why school is the most important building. But first of all, let me place signpost here so that they can build it. School is the most important building because it allows me to unlock professions very quickly. If I didn't have school, I would be forced to gain experience every time I want to place a worker somewhere. So if I want to have a baker, I need to first assign a farmer, then wait for him to have 10 experience, then assign him as a miller, then wait for him to have 10 experience, and then finally I can get him to be a baker. And that's not optimal. What I want to do is I just want to select a civilian and send him to school to learn it. This is very important. And I'm going to touch upon the school bug in a moment. But first, I'm going to select my clay extractor and let him be a potter. This is very important because, yeah, This is actually not very important. This is normal action. I don't know why I said that this is very important. Never mind. I'm going to then choose my quarry stone extractor and assign him as a stonemason. Okay, now they are here. And very important thing. Now, here comes the important part. I need to remember to replace them, to assign a new clay extractor and new stone extractor. If I don't do it, I will very quickly run out of stone and then run out of clay. I don't want it. And I already have some boys, so they are waiting to be extractors. Okay, so I'm going to choose my first civilian and let him be quarry stone extractor, and then another one is going to be clay extractor, and the last one is going to be used as a bugger, so to speak. And why as a bugger? Let me tell you about the skull bug, which is a very popular mechanic that every good multiplayer player does, and if you don't do it, you are going to be very behind. And this is the secret. This is the secret, guys. Listen, it's very important. I'm going to let him be a farmer, and I'm going to send him to school to learn anything. Let's say, I don't know, potter brick. And now I'm going to wait a bit, and let me pause because this is very important. A guy who is sent to school gains experience in his new profession, so in that case in pottery, but also in his current profession. And his current profession is farmer. So that guy is going to gain experience in being a farmer, even though he didn't work as second in a farm. And this has huge consequences because let me show you. He is going to unlock a miller. Okay, he can be now a miller, and now I'm going to change his profession to miller and send him to school again to learn pottery. And this guy is going to learn millery. I don't know if that's a word in English, but anyway, and also pottery. So he is going to become a baker. That's very huge because this allows me to unlock every single profession and every single building that there is. I don't have to wait for it. So look, now I can change his profession to be baker, and I'm going to send him again one last time to learn anything. Let's say potter brick. And now what I have unlocked, I have unlocked mill and bakery, and also I'm going to unlock a brewery in just a moment. In a moment. So let me build those buildings because my next job is to make sure that my villagers have something to eat. This is very important because they are going to starve if I don't do it. Okay, so now let me place a well, right? Well, okay. Okay, and now I can also build my brewery. And I'm going to place it right away. Brewery and a beehive close to it. Watch out, I placed my buildings very close to each other. Watch that well is incredibly close to the bakery. And bakery is incredibly close to the mill. This is very important because if my bakery were here, like over here, then my baker would have to go all the way here to take flour and to take water from the well. That wouldn't be good. So we don't want to do it, right? Don't place your buildings far away. Place them as tightly as possible. Same for brewery. Look, I have beehive right next to my brewery, and well will be right next to my brewery as well. This is very important. Because if they have to travel all the way to my village to produce goods, then they are not producing them well enough. Okay, first of all, now I have a guy who can be where is he? Striker, farmer, hunter, potter. Okay, this is my potter, right? Because he learned pottery. And now he can be a baker. And I need also a miller, of course. So I'm going to use one of my civilians to learn millery. and also I'm going to learn brewery for the other two. Okay, and now I will be able to produce flour, bread, and mead. And why mead, you may ask? And this is also a very good question. But first of all, let me check if I extract everything. I have 3 extractors. Okay, I have 3 extractors. I have a farmer, I have women, they produce boys, everything is okay. This is actually important to check those things because you can quickly run out of a certain good and this is not good. Right, you can run out of good and this is not good. Anyways, now this guy can be brewer and I also have a miller probably by that time. No, I don't. I need to wait to have a miller. First of all, as you can see, what I want to do is I want to produce food, because without food I won't have any new boys. As you probably know, women, in order to produce new Vikings, I'm not saying produce, but in order to be pregnant, okay, in order to be pregnant, they need to have at least 2 food, and they consume those food when they do, you know, their stuff inside their home, and the herds go out. You know what I'm talking about, right? They need 2 food, and if I don't have food, they cannot do it. So I don't have any new unit production, and unit production is very important because, well, I need workers and I need soldiers. This is of paramount importance. So I need that. So I need to produce food. Not to mention that if I don't have food, they will starve to death, right? And we don't want to do it because, you know, starvation is the most dangerous thing that can happen to you. If you starve, if your Vikings starve, they cannot produce new goods, and if they don't produce new goods, then they also cannot build new houses, they cannot produce new units. If your village is starving, then you're basically, your game is over. You are going to be at least 10 minutes behind, or maybe 15 minutes, or maybe 20 minutes. Every time you need a lot of food. That's why we are taking care of it at the very beginning of the game. Don't build any barracks, don't build anything else, don't produce armor if you don't have food production. Never do it. First of all, food in large quantities, and then armor, then weapon, then barracks, then everything else, then soldiers. Okay, I have miller, I have baker, and now I will have 2 brewers. The next building, and let me highlight the importance of food production once more. Cattle farm, next to farm, right? Next to farm. And because well is very far away, I'm going to build another well. And you may call me a madman, because why do you need 2 wells? Well, I need it because I don't want my breeders, they are called probably stock farmers, right? I don't want my stock farmers to travel all the way here to this well. I want them to have well very close to them, because they need water and they need wheat in order to breed cattle. And this is very important, that the buildings are close to each other. And I can build this cattle farm because, as you probably remember, I assigned the first civilian, or the second one, to be a hunter. And now he gained a lot of experience, he killed plenty of animals, and he's ready to be a breeder. Finally. Actually, stock farmer, right? It's not a breeder, but stock farmer. And we are going to produce ox, of course, not sheep. Sheep is not a very good choice. Okay, and I'm going to also send someone to be a stock farmer as well. And I also need 2 sewers, right? Tailors, leather armor. 2 of them. I need 2 of them. Leather armor, and let me build Tailor's Workshop 2. And I can build Tailor Workshop 2 and cattle farm very early on. As you can see, I don't need tiles because this is Cultures Nation mode 1.3. It's not possible on or in 8th Wonder though, and this is a problem. And in my opinion, look, this is a building that is very basic, and in my opinion, it's very good that I can build it early on, because this is a very basic building, and there is no point for it to require tiles. It just doesn't make any sense. That's why I changed it on my mode. be sure to play it, please, because it's so much better. Okay, and now I'll assign 2 of my tailors to produce shoes and leather armor, but the second guy is not ready yet. Okay, so now to sum it up a bit, look, I produce food in bakery, I produce mead in my brewery, and I will produce here food and leather, and my tailors are going to use that leather in order to produce shoes. So I will have everything I need. And this is how early game looks like. In early game, you need at least 4 houses, 4 dwellings, at least 4 bakery chain, at least 4 brewery chain, and cattle farm chain. And by chain, I mean every single building that is required for it to work and produce goods effectively. And just a brief touch on mead. This is the most important good. As I mentioned that, when I mentioned that school is the most important building, then mead is the most important good in my entire village. Well, of course I need wood and so on, but this is very important because if I produce mead, then my Vikings will pick up this mead. Why? Because I turned it on in my assistant, right? This is the second, the chest here. They are going to pick this mead, and what does mead do anyway? Mead is going to be placed here in his equipment, in a guy's equipment, and he's going to drink mead every time he's hungry. Oh, that's very important, because he's going to refill his energy bar and refill his stamina bar, both at the same time. So this guy, let's say a tailor, wouldn't have to go all the way to bakery, eat, and then go to the tree to sleep. Because as you probably know, they like to sleep under trees. And sleep takes a lot of time. Traveling all the way down to bakery takes a lot of time. That's why mead is super OP. Make sure to do it every single game. And every single male in my village is going to choose mead. And they are going to drink mead. So they are going to leave bread and all the food actually to women. And this is very important because women cannot equip food, and they need they cannot equip mead, and they need food in order to eat and in order to produce new units, in order to get pregnant, right? They need 2 food at least. So mead goes to males, food goes to women. And this is a perfect division. You have to do it like this, because otherwise there is going to be too much demand. And it doesn't matter if you place like 4 bakeries. If you place 4 bakeries, it doesn't matter. There is still going to be a lack of food in your village. Not to mention that your workers will interrupt their work every time they are hungry. And using mead, and mead by the way has 2, it's 100%, and one usage uses 50%. So there are 2 uses of mead. This is very important as well. That's why mead is the most important resource, the most important good in your village. Make sure to produce it. This is the secret. Like, this is, guys, the secret. If you wonder why you have starvation and good players don't, then that's the reason. Produce meat every time. Okay, let's move on. So I'm going to finish cattle farm chain in a moment, because they are finishing my tailor's workshop. What's next? I have bakery chain, brewery chain, and cattle farm chain. The next thing is I'm going to increase the number of my women, because right now I have 4 active women, and by active I mean they have a husband and they are assigned, they are housed, they are not unhoused, they have a dwelling, right? So they can produce, they can get pregnant, they can produce new units. So I want to extend it a bit. I want to improve my houses. I want to upgrade my houses, because I want to have 12 women. And why 12? Well, just because that works well. Trust me. You want to have 12 women because it's already 30 minutes. Usually I get this done much quicker. But I'm talking a lot in this video, so that's why. Yeah, that's why I'm not playing very well right now. Okay, So I'm going to command to have 6 girls, and 6 because I already have 6, and I want to have 12. And why 12? Because I'm going to upgrade all of these houses to be a dwelling 3. I'm going to upgrade them twice. And 4x3 equals 12, right? Math, guys, math. You need to be good at maths if you want to play cultures. You cannot just, play without thinking. You need to think a lot playing cultures. This is very important. Okay, so I'm going to upgrade my houses. And which one? Guess, which one am I going to upgrade? Of course, this one. Why? Because there will be a baby very soon. So I have a very little baby here. And by the time they upgrade this dwelling, this baby will be not an adult yet. This is huge. You know why? Because my production will not be stopped. If I upgrade, let's say, this building right now, she will not be able to get pregnant, because she cannot get pregnant when the house is upgraded. So I'm going to wait until until they get a child, and now it's time to upgrade it. Okay, you see, this is a very tiny detail. But if I click here upgrade, they will not be able to get pregnant. She will not be able to get pregnant. Therefore, my unit production will suffer. And I don't want to do it. I don't want it, right? Okay, so now I can upgrade all 4 houses because there are 4 babies. And by the time those babies grow up, I will have upgraded 4 houses. And that's huge, because I don't stop my unit production. The next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to let them produce shoes and leather armor simultaneously. Not simultaneously. There is a word, English word that I forgot. Alternatively? Not alternatively. You got the point. They are going to produce both of them. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to click this minus here. So as you can see, he produces an infinite amount of shoes, and I'm going to click that minus, so that guy produces an infinite amount of leather armor. Now this guy is going to produce a pair of shoes, and then he's going to switch to leather armor. And that's huge, because I want to have both of these goods. And every time you need both goods from a building, do it. Just let them produce the first one and then the second one. Okay, now it's time to upgrade those buildings as well, but let me wait until she gets pregnant. As I mentioned before, I don't want to upgrade it yet, because she will not be able to get pregnant. So let's wait for it. And anyways, they are still building, they are still finishing those dwellings, so there is no point in upgrading yet. Okay, now, as you can see, this guy, I don't know the name of this bird in English, but it's a famous national Polish bird. Once you see it, you can click upgrade. And let me wait for other women to get pregnant. Then I'm going to upgrade them. Of course, this is not the most important thing. So if my builders are waiting, then I don't want it. Then the fact that they are waiting takes a higher priority. But right now, as you can see, double hearts, so I'm going to upgrade both buildings. Actually, you don't have to see a bird, you have to see hearts. If you see hearts, you can click upgrade. And here I see that she has 0 food. I'm not going to wait for it. I'm just going to upgrade it. I don't care at this point. I want to finish those houses. Okay, and now my houses will be ready, and I will have 12 girls, 12 women in just a moment. And I'm going to now assign women to those houses. I'm going to assign a house and let them marry someone. Okay, she's homeless, right? Because she was with me at the very beginning. So she already has a husband. Okay, unmarried and housed. So, okay. And okay, I don't have any other women. I'm going to wait for the other 3. Okay, now as I have finished 3 houses, I'm going to move on. And you may ask, what's the next step? This is a very good question, because as you can see, I produce bread, I produce meat, I produce shoes and leather armor. I have 12 women. The next step is armor production, armor and weapon production, right? Because we need armor and weapon in order before we start producing soldiers, because soldiers without any armor and any weapon are completely useless. That's why I'm going to build what's the name? I'm going to build this guy who produces iron tools, right? Let me check in a moment. But so I'm going to pick any civilian, change his profession to wood extractor, and send him to learn anything. I will let him be, let's say, a potter, and I will explain why I did it in just a second, because I forgot the name of this building. Okay, now I'm going to let him be a carpenter, right? A carpenter, and let him learn anything. So, one thing you need to know about the school bug, once again, is that extractor learning anything is the most important thing, is the most powerful, the most OP thing, because an extractor who learns anything will unlock many buildings, will unlock smithy, will unlock carpentry, will unlock druid hut probably, as I remember, coin mint as well. So this is important to do it every time. Every time, once in a game, you want to send an extractor to learn anything, just anything, and therefore afterwards he will unlock something. So I want to build carpenter's shop 2. Why 2? Because I want to produce iron tools. And welcome to Cultures Nation mode. In Cultures Nation mode, iron tools are produced in carpentry. I need 2 carpenters, and I also need an iron extractor. So let me learn iron. Where's iron? I'm not used to this version. Where's iron? Tailor, herb gatherer. Okay, extractor iron. I need to get him out of the school, and now choose extractor iron. Okay, and I will actually have 2 of them, because I like to have 2 of them. Because iron, it's very likely to run out of iron. Okay, and now I'm going to also increase the number of boys that are required, because they have nothing else to do, right? And they are useless, therefore. And I'm going to assign the last 3 women to my houses. Okay, I know that a lot of is going on, but welcome to Cultures. This game is pretty intense. I don't know how people can chill playing this game. It's impossible for me right now. There's a lot of stuff going on. Okay, so I have my carpentry. Now my builders are not doing anything. I'm going to let them build smithy. Actually, I'm going to upgrade my pottery and mason, and then I'm going to build smithy 2, of course 2. And let's slow down for a moment and let me explain everything. I need iron tools. I need both carpenters to produce iron tools. Why? Because iron tools increase the goods that are produced. And alongside meat and shoes, iron tools serve one purpose. They will increase the number of goods that are produced. They will increase the productivity of our workers. And this is huge, because the more goods they produce, the better. As you can see now, a baker is not doing very well, because women are constantly taking bread away from his house. And with iron tools, he will be able to catch up with this, because iron tools makes you produce iron tools make you produce more goods per one action. So if he brings water and flour to the bakery and he bakes, he will bake one loaf of bread. And with iron tools, he's going to bake 1.7 loaves of bread. This is a 70% increase, and this is huge. Okay, my pottery is upgraded. I'm going to switch to produce tiles now, but I have to keep in mind that I need to switch that again to bricks later on. And so I need iron tools, right? I just explained it. And now I need a second carpenter, but where's my second carpenter? I don't know. I'm going to choose another civilian to learn carpentry, iron tools. I like to have 2 carpenters. You can get away with 1 and it will work, but I like to have 2 because I like to have a lot of iron tools because I think they are OP. Okay, and now I'm going to let my mason produce marble. Okay, here's my brewer. Why is he the 3rd brewer? I don't know. This is probably my carpenter, but I just forgot about him. And he can also be a blacksmith. What? Okay, never mind. I don't know what's happening. Okay, but I need 2 blacksmiths. So I'm going to let him learn plate armor. And you can choose between chainmail and plate armor, but when it comes to weapons and armor, this is not the purpose of this guide to explain it thoroughly, so make sure to check the text guide in the description and read it. It's very long, but you can skip to the weapon part if you want to know more about it. Okay, so here's going to be my 2nd smith, and I'm going to produce plate armor and long swords. Plate armor and long swords. There are a couple of reasons why I'm going to produce plate armor and long swords, but I don't want to explain it very well here because this guide is all about building houses in a proper way. So let's skip that part. Okay, and I'm going to let him learn long swords now because I want to produce those 2 goods alternatively. I don't know, there is a word in English that describes it good, that describes it well. Okay, and now let him learn long swords. Okay, now I have smithy, I have carpenter shop. One last thing, armor workshop, but I need first to build armor 2. So I'm going to use the school bug once again, and I'm going to unlock armor's workshop 2. Now my buildings don't have anything else to do. They are I have quarry stone. They are waiting. They will be waiting in a moment because they are going to finish this building very soon. And this is not a good thing if my builders wait. But for the sake of this guide, I'm not going to build anything else. I'm going to wait for my armor's workshop. Normally, I would build anything in the meantime because if my builders are waiting, then this is just a waste of time. I would build, let's say, barracks right now. But for the sake of this guide, to keep one action at a time, I'm going to wait for my armor. And this guy needs to learn armor again, and afterwards he will unlock longbows. Okay. And he also wants to get shoes, he wants to get meat, he wants to get iron tools, so this is going to take so much time. Let me choose someone with shoes already. Okay. Maybe this guy is going to be faster. So for the sake of this guide, I'm going to keep it like this. Because I don't want to create chaos. There was already too much chaos. Okay. Now he unlocked armors 2. And I'm going to place it here. And because I have plenty of civilians, I'm going to create the 2nd extractor wood and maybe the 2nd stone extractor here. And I placed my iron extractor, one of my iron extractors here, and the 2nd one here because I want them to be in 2 separate places, so that they do not finish those piles of iron too quickly. And my 2 smithies, I don't want them to produce short swords, let them produce long swords and plate armor. And I'm going to use the same thing I used before. I want them to produce those goods alternatively. Right, this is going to be a word of this episode. Okay, I have my armorer's workshop, and now I need also 2 civilians to learn to be armorers. And I need long bows, right? If you wonder why long bows than short bows, well, long bows are better. The end of the story. And now the next thing, I'm not going to build barracks yet. Even though I have everything, I produce iron tools, I produce swords and armor, and I'm going to produce longbows in a moment. Before I build barracks, I need to increase my unit production once again. I want to have 25 women because I want to have 5 dwellings, 5. Okay, so I'll upgrade them. And yeah, okay. So first of all, I'm going to choose bricks, marble and stone production as well. Okay, and I'm going to upgrade all of the houses. And right now it's too late. I'm not going to watch whether they have babies or not. It's too late for me. What I need though is I want to have 25 women. So I'm going to have 13 girls in order to have 25. And I can actually increase that number to 15. Because some babies may get lost along the way. You know, life is brutal. Okay, now my armorers are going to produce longbows, and now I have everything I ever wanted. So to sum it up, okay, now I have like 4 armors. Oh my god, I don't know what happened here. Never mind. Yeah, because, okay, now I know why. Never mind. When it comes to clay extractor, you just need 1. You never need to have 2, because clay extractors are, I don't know, they are just OP. Okay, and now let's upgrade those houses to houses 5. And now I will build one last dwelling 5. And this is going to be enough to house 25 women. And that's good. So I produce food, I produce meat, I produce leather armor and shoes simultaneously. I produce stone and marble simultaneously. I produce bricks and tiles simultaneously. And I produce iron tools. I produce long swords and plate armor simultaneously. And I produce long bows. That's perfect. The last step before massive soldier production is increasing my unit production. So I'm going to upgrade my houses, and I'm going to, okay, now I need one more thing. I need to use my skull bug one last time. I'm going to choose this guy because he's married. I don't want him to become a soldier. I'm going to let him learn herb gathering. And I'm going to tell you why in just a second. But first of all, I need to get rid of those. I'll let him be a carrier to bakery, because that's important. And as you can see, this guy has now iron tools. And he now can produce a lot of bread. You see the power of iron tools now. Okay, and I'm going to let him learn herb gathering again. And as a consequence, he will unlock a temple. And I need a temple. And I'm going to tell you why in just a second. And what's the next building? The next building is barracks. I have everything right now. I produce food, I produce I produce meat, I produce actually everything. Swords, armor, and bows as well. So the next step is barracks, but before barracks I'm going to upgrade my bakery. But actually no. The baker is doing a very good job, so I'm going to leave him like this. But I have that in mind, and I will do it later. So, let me build barracks here, say here, and let me build temple here. Where is temple? Temple here, okay. And the reason I'm able to build a temple without druid's hut, without producing oil, is there are 2 reasons actually. First of all, I used Skullbag, so this guy unlocked me druid, and as a consequence I can build temple right now. I'm going to let him be a builder because I don't need I don't need him as a druid. And also I have 1 oil here in my headquarters, and this is actually the case in pretty much all of the maps. There is 1 oil in the headquarters. I don't know why, but it is there. If you don't have headquarters at the beginning of the game though, or one of your women decided to steal it, because that happens if you forgot to, if this is on, then those women will try to steal it. That's not a good thing. If that happens, you need to build your alchemist hut here, or like anywhere else, and you also need to have one guy as a druid and another guy as a mushroom gatherer, mushroom extractor, because you need mushroom in order to produce oil. Okay, now I see women, fresh women, so let me assign them and let them marry. Okay. There is a lot of clicking here. Nobody likes it, but I hope that soon we will patch this game so that this is less annoying. That's also why I recommend you to use Cultures Nation mode, because not only have I upgraded balance, or I don't know, made it better, but I also fix those bugs, all of those annoying bugs, and it's not just me, it's also other guys as well. So long story short, use Cultures Nation mode. It's so much better. Okay. Everything is good here, and I can see also that my blacksmiths are not producing enough plate armor. I'm going to need more of that, so it makes sense to build the second coinsmith. Second smithy here, and it also makes sense to upgrade my bakery right now in order to have second baker. And I need 2 bakers because I'm going to have 25 women. But for some reason they decided not to produce 5 more. So I'm going to let them now. That happens. Welcome to Cultures. That happens when I upgrade my houses too early. But not too early, but if they want to have a child when a house is being upgraded, then that can happen. But I don't care. I just don't care. Okay, and now there is 0, and I'm going to spam boys. And now it's time for boys. And you may wonder why. Well, because that's the end of this guide, and I'm going to finish it in a moment. Okay. And I will tell you why. Because right now you may see, okay, it's already 1 hour and 10 minutes. You men have 0 soldiers. You are a weak player. You don't know what you're talking about. But look, I have 19 civilians. And now I'm going to spam soldiers. Now it's a time in the game where I just spam soldiers. And this is all I do. This is all I do. I made a couple of mistakes during this game, that's why it was not the perfect game, and I was also commenting it along the way. Normally I would do it faster, but life happens. Cultures happens. And I'm going to produce many soldiers in a moment. I have 20 women, so I get 20 new civilians every 10 minutes. I'm going to actually increase that number to 25 in a moment because I spawned 5 women. Okay. You can see girls here already. And this is the end of this guide. And why? Because everything what happens next doesn't really matter. There are plenty of options. I can build another smithy. I can build coin mint. I can increase the number of women to like 40. I can do it. No doubt about it. I can also upgrade my bakery. I can maybe produce healing potions in Alchemist Hut 2. I can create a factory. I can build a factory here, like let's say 4 Alchemist Huts 2, then a coin mint, then the building where they produce when they gather herbs. There are plenty of options, but this strategy that I'm proposing you ends here, because the next, what happens next, typically it doesn't matter that much, and also it depends on you. I cannot tell you what's the best, but I genuinely believe that this strategy, what I've just described to you, is very solid, and it will make you predictable. You will never have a starvation. You will never run out of food. You can see 30 meat, right? And you have everything. You have shoes, you have armor, you have iron tools, you have meat, you have bows, you have armor, you have swords. Well, I don't have armor, right? I don't have plate armor. I need 2 smithies. I can also have a carrier. But as I mentioned, it doesn't matter right now. And now I just chill. I just chill and produce soldiers. And in like 10 minutes, I'm going to have 50 or 60 or 70 soldiers. And that's enough to destroy my opponents. And let me tell you, in this game time, my opponents are not having soldiers. They have maybe 10, 15, maybe 20 soldiers. And if you do it well, you can have all this setup in like 1 hour. And this is huge. This allows you to beat every player, every not very experienced player. Because of course you're not going to beat me, right? You're not going to beat me. Let's not kid ourselves. That takes a lot of time and practice. But you will beat casual players. You will beat ordinary players, like average players. They don't know how to play this game. They can beat campaign, but they don't know how to really build buildings. And let me read the whole list one last time so we have a great summary of it, because I know that I'm extending this a bit, and let's finish this guide. But let me remind you of the correct order. First of all, you build a farm, then you build 4 houses, 4 dwellings, then you build pottery, mason's shop, and school, the most important building. Then you build a mill, a bakery, and a well. Remember, very tightly, very close to each other. And then you build brewery, beehive, very close to brewery, cattle farm, very close to farm, and well as well. And of course you finish this chain with tailor's workshop too. Then you upgrade your houses. You want to have 12 women, so 4 houses, 4 dwellings, 3. Then you build carpenter's shop too. Then you upgrade your pottery and mason. Then you build smithy. Then you build armors in order to produce bows. Then you upgrade your houses. You are just 1 step before massive unit production. You just need to upgrade your dwellings. You want to have 5 dwellings, 5, and have 25 women. Look, I have 25 right now. And then one last step, you build barracks and a temple, and you have everything. And one last thing, I haven't mentioned it, but why temple? Temple increases the health by 50%. So you see, it's not 5,000. Normally it's 5,000, but with the temple it's 7,500. And this is a 50% increase. That's a lot. That's actually a lot, because that increases the durability of your soldiers by 50%. And now I just spam soldiers. I spam archers, let's say sword fighters, spearmen if I have them. And that's it. Look, right now I have 60 soldiers. And like 10 minutes ago I didn't have any. Right? So you see the power of it. Right now, I highly recommend you to try out this strategy and do it in your game. And be sure to do this strategy consistently, and then tweak some things, then change something, place something here, maybe something a bit earlier. Some people place carpenter workshop much earlier than I do. Some people maybe skip bakery at all. But be sure to tweak things like that after you have mastered this strategy, because this strategy gives you consistency and makes you a very good player. And let me tell you, there aren't that many good players, and I hope that this guide will change that. So that's it. That's the end of the guide. Be sure to check the text version of this guide, and also extended by a lot of things. You will have everything on paper. And that's it. I wish you good luck and see you in the multiplayer. I hope that one day you are going to kick my ass. Thank you and see you.